everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. SBK, kick the beat. So, over the last 4 to 5 days on TikTok, there has been a really big controversy with a Korean American TikToker by the name of KK31387. Now, so much so that her page has been flagged and she had to make up a backup account. But why is that so? Well, this particular lady is pretty much exposing black men for coming to her as an Asian woman and putting down black women to her. And it's something that is really irritating for her, and she considers that black men who do this as having red flags. I'm gonna let her talk about it herself.
So I know a lot of these passport bros, and especially black men, are in my comments asking me why I'm talking about this. It's not my fight. And before anything, I'm a woman, so I'm always going to stand up for women regardless of race. And one thing that really bothers me about this is these same passport bros are the men who probably tried to hit on me in the US before they realized that we don't like them either. I'm from a town that really doesn't have that many Asian women, especially Asian women who look like me. Like I said, you guys, I'm adopted. I grew up in a white family in the Midwest, so I have no beauty standards from South Korea. I'm a thick woman. I weigh about 165 pounds. I'm 5'5". So honestly, the brothers like to holler, and they still do. Regardless of what some men in the comments are trying to say that black men aren't checking for Asian women. Yeah, right. Check my DMs. But anyway, pretty much every time I met a black man, he thought it would be a flex to say something like, yeah, I like my women foreign. I like my women exotic. And I don't know why they decided to say that to me, if they thought it would make me feel good or something, but for me, it's always a red flag. And so I would dig in a little bit further and say, well, what do you mean by that? Like, because I'm a white girl on the inside. My family is white. I grew up in a white community in a small town in the Midwest. So I might look exotic, but I'm Wonder Bread white on the inside. So anyway, whenever these guys would say this, I'd be like, well, you're about to be in for a big disappointment if you're expecting a submissive, docile Asian to take care of you. But it really bothered me when these guys would say, yeah, I don't like black women, because that's what it always came down to, that they didn't date black women regardless if they were black or not. And their moms are black, their sisters are black, their cousins are black. I'm like, would you say this to their face? That's weird. So I kind of pick and prod after I already decided, yeah, I'm done with this, I'm out, because anybody who says something like that just is an immediate red flag. But it always came down to the same stupid stereotypes that black men always have to say about women. They're loud, they're masculine, they don't know how to treat a man, they wear fake hair. So what? So what? You don't have to put down an entire race of women because you have a preference. And honestly, like, I've dated pretty much every race, every ethnicity. I'm Ms. Worldwide when it comes to dating. Only common denominator is black hair and dark eyes usually. But I've never heard any group of men put down their own women more than I've heard black men do it in pursuit of other women. And I just find it really disheartening. And I understand why this divide is getting bigger, but I don't want to be a part of it. So I hate it, and I had to speak on it.
So, of course, there's a lot of people in the comments, talking about she's speaking truth, she's speaking facts. And, of course, certain black men got upset, and then the guys that I saw their videos, it appears to me that these videos didn't make a lot of sense to address her argument. They talked about everything else instead of what she was saying. And I kind of wish these brothers would have left these responses off. But, I want to play some of the responses that these guys had to her arguments, which in my opinion are not that good. Let's hear them out.
Like, where does the guy with the passport card think he is going?
Hi, that was me. I got the card and the book. I'll use this to go get your cousin since she hasn't made it over here yet. Is that all right with you?
All right, so here we go. Obviously, you probably don't know me. This is my backup account. But long story short, whenever you see me stitched to your video, it's never good. And the reason why it's never good is because I put you in a rock and a hard place. And the rock and a hard place is this. The shit that I say makes so much sense. So when you try to stitch to me or reply to me, you have to be real careful and real tedious. So what most people do is they try to block me or they just don't respond back because it just gets worse for them as the stitch goes on. I'm literally 0 and 100 right now. So basically, let's talk about this. The first thing that you said to people on social media, you didn't say, I'm educated, I'm beautiful, I'm strong. The first thing you start telling people was the fact that you are thick and describing your height and explain this is why the brothers, the fellas is trying to talk to you. Meaning that you assume that black men are only talking to you because you have body, basically. So let's hypothetically say that that is the truth. That means that the black men who are trying to speak to you don't see any value in you. Compared to the passport bros who go overseas specifically to get a woman who they want to make their wife, or a woman who they can potentially bring over here to be their wife. Do you understand the difference? But see, here's the problem. The problem isn't you standing up for women. The problem is you trying to use this as a way to basically act like you understand what's going on with the black community. Speaking about, oh, black men are the only people who put their women down. You ain't never seen no other race do this. Oh, the black men are always trying to talk to you. And then you try to manipulate and pander towards the black women and the sisters because you know they're going to be like, yeah, girl, exactly. We've been saying that. See, fellas, they don't even want y'all. The reality is when a brother get up here, he speak about his experience by going overseas with another woman that has nothing to do with you. That's his experience. That's his preference. That's how he feel. Just like women can get on here all day and say shit like, I don't want a guy who's under, I don't know, 5, what's short for a girl? 5'8" or something like that. I don't want no guy who's 1 minute. I can't mess with no guy who got a little street. Y'all can openly speak about y'all preferences and speak about y'all experiences with men. But as soon as men start speaking about our experiences with women and speaking about our preferences, we are monsters for it. But I choose a sister over you any day. Just saying.
Asian women marry more white men than any other ethnic group in the United States of America, namely marrying into the ethnic group that predominantly occupies their countries of origin. The irony being that white men also created these fetishization stereotypes that we have about Asian people that we understand today. So her issue is not passport bros. Every man in the military with an Asian wife and kids is a passport bro. Her issue is black men doing it. It's simple, dog.
Again, what these guys were doing is making ad hominem arguments basically on what she's saying, in my honest opinion. But I want to play another video from a lady that's saying something very similar to what she's saying, and then we'll come back.
I waited a whole damn week just to calm down before I shoot this video so that I don't overstep my boundaries. But this happens in front of me so often that I'm so sick of it, I can't just shut the fuck up anymore. Just for context purposes, my entire family is African, and so I am around a lot of black people. So tell me why black men specifically feel the need to degrade black women when they are around non-black women, as if that's supposed to impress me or make me feel good or make me want them. I waited for her cue before I joined her because I'm not going to disrespect her like that and be put him in his place. But what she said in the end was correct. She said to him, I'm glad she gets it, but do you understand how embarrassing it is that she does, but you don't?
All right, so we've heard it from another woman saying the same thing that, that she's saying. The first lady, KK31387. Now I want to talk about this. If we had a video today talking about the fact that, well, you know what, black women are going to white men down talking white men, everybody would believe it. But if non-black women are coming out here saying that, black men are down talking black women to other races of women, all of a sudden these women want attention from black men and they're just trying to go viral. When in actuality, we know both that black men go and down talk black women to other races. I'm not saying all of them do it because they don't. And we definitely know that there's evidence of black women that goes out and talks down on black men to non-black men. We know that this happens. But what we don't want to deal with is that when you do it, nobody respects you. And I know it's true. Like, even you hear about it in Uganda or in Nigeria, you know, you go to these places, even in the Pan-African world, women always say like, oh, we don't want to date Nigerian men. We don't want to date Ugandan men, or we don't want to date African-American men. Like, people say that all the time. But if you tell me that as an individual, it's a turnoff, because it's like, number one, you don't even respect your own people. So how can I respect you also? And typically people that talk like that, they don't really have anything to offer their group. Like, if you typically hear black men saying like, oh, I don't want to date black women, and they're saying this to white people, it's typically a person that has nothing to offer their own community, because nobody who has something to offer just talks like that. And I get you can have your issues, and I got my issues. I get that you can have your disagreements, but other groups just don't respect it. And that's something that I want brothers to understand. Now stop the show. If you want to get matched in the black world, check out the Pan-African dating show. First comment pinned to the top. All right, go over there and subscribe and find you somebody in the black community, so at least we could talk about each other there and keep it in the black world. But now let's get back to the argument. It's something people don't respect. I don't care for a fact, like, you know, you don't like black men, you don't like black women. But let's say, for example, if I'm dating somebody, you know, let's say I'm in Nigeria, you know, somebody might ask me, why you're not dating somebody from the black American community? I'm not gonna be like, well, because, you know, black women over there are ratchet. I'm like, look, I'm not living there right now. I prefer to have an African American woman, even though I'll take somebody in the Pan-African world, in the black world for sure. I always gonna prefer my own people. I don't mean that everything is perfect, but I'm gonna always prefer, number one, a black American woman, and number two, I'll prefer somebody from the continent, or somebody that was raised around my issues or whatever, right? Because those people are gonna understand me more. Now, you know, are we gonna have some problems because of how to get along and stuff? Yes, that might be the truth. But I'm always gonna prefer my people, because my people are the reason why I have what I have today. You brothers and sisters are why I'm able to do what I do, because of my group. No, shout out to YouTube and stuff, but you know, if it wasn't for you guys consuming this, I wouldn't have the ability to do what I'm doing right now. And when you talk like that, people are like, okay, he respects his own people. So what is it about his people that we need to respect? And a lot of brothers and sisters, I see that, especially black men. I mean, some of y'all say y'all don't do that, but yeah, it do be certain black men that go away talking about black women like a dog to the white woman. And you think that makes her like you. It don't. It makes her think you a simp, because you don't have no community to go back to when you talk like that. And it's ridiculous, because even if it's a white woman that's like, oh, I hate white men, I don't want to date white men, I'll be like, wait, well, what kind of woman is this? Like, you don't like your own people? Like, why don't you like your own people? And that's what we need to be discussing. And for people who do it, I hope that you stop. You're making everybody look bad. And most notably, you're making yourself look bad. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.